What's up, guys? I'm Isaac here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, and today I have this 2024 Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and I'm here to tell you some of my favorite things about this newer style of the Street Glide, all for your pre-owned Bike of the Week. So 2024 was the first year that we got these massive updates on the Street Glide, and with it you still have everything the Street Glide's known for and loved for. You know, it's just amazing touring motorcycle with, of course, the Batwing fairing, and with the dual rotors and the engine guard and the floorboards and the Milwaukee 8, 6-gallon tank, 2-up riding, and of course the saddlebags. But last year, this bike got a massive upgrade that you're seeing right here, and it took what everyone loves about the Street Glide and really just made it better. Quicker, lighter, easier to handle, and just a little bit more fun all the way around. And this one, they were already set up with great features on them, but this one is pre-owned, so it got a couple upgrades, including this little highway foot peg, this clear windscreen, a little bit of a kick up there, as well as this backrest and this backrest for the passenger with the luggage rack. And other than that, this bike is pretty stock. I mean, like I said, not a whole lot you got to do to these bikes, and they're a ton of fun to ride. And so we're going to show you what this bike looks like out on the road. So one of my first things that I love about these bikes is, of course, the key fob. A small thing to be excited about, and it's a smaller thing for this year because look, it's a much smaller fob that fits in your pocket really well. And you do still have the hard key, so with that key you can lock your forks, and that way you get a little bit more added peace of mind if you're leaving this in a not great area. And if you want to put your phone somewhere, look at that. Look at all that storage you got to go fit phones of almost fit a whole iPad in there just about, if I can put my glove on. Another thing I love, one-touch entry. I like to do the halfway click to let the fuel prime up and all that stuff, but I guess you really don't have to if you don't want to. And then just whoop, easy as that. So first thing I love right there. Also, this is a really nice little backrest. You can ride with your passenger and fit a bunch of stuff up here. Big old duffel bag if you don't want to carry your tour pack up there. So time to show you what I love about these bikes. Very easy to handle, very light. You can just pick them up very quick and easy. Lots of great things up here. You can really customize this display. I'm a big analog gauge guy, but I could be convinced with these gauges right here. Very smooth, very light, easy to handle, all those great things. And this seat does feel really nice for a much shorter rider. I don't believe this is the stock seat. So a little bit of a shorter rider probably benefit really well from this pre-owned bike. Professional moving right there. Always make sure they're stopping before you go through an intersection like that. Good start to the ride. Welcome to Raleigh, folks. Oh yeah. And this one does have a nice little vent here, so I can get a little more air up in there. While it is still fancy and new, it does have the standard Harley style of turn signals that Harley riders have gotten used to. So instead of your control for left and right on the left side, you have the individual ones. And this bike is in road mode. With this new style of road glide, with this new style of Street Glide, you do get the benefits of choosing between different ride modes. So if I'm on a particularly bumpy road like this, and it's really hard to really keep that smooth throttle, I can go ahead and put this bike in rain mode, all without taking my eyes off the road too. So I can put it in rain mode, so it's a little bit more tame, easier to handle, and that way, my accidental throttle inputs that I might have on a bumpy road like this get smoothed out a little bit better. So it's just a nice little perk you have right there. And then when I feel like I'm pretty good, I can just go ahead and throw it back up into road mode like that. And then later on I can throw it in sport mode. Small issue I have with the bike is that it is kind of hard when you're holding onto the throttle, keeping that smooth throttle while also hitting the mode button can be tricky, so I would push the back of the turn signal, and that works out really, really well. So it's nice that those buttons are designed to be able to do it both ways. And this bike has been broken in pretty well, so we can go ahead and run it up a little bit. It's got over 5,000 miles on it, almost 6,000. So we'll go ahead and show you what this thing looks like when you're cornering. Don't step out, thank you, ma'am. Maybe not. So we'll go ahead and throw it up in sport mode, see if traffic will allow us to have a little bit of fun at least. And we'll see you at the next exit, maybe. This bike handles so good at these higher speeds too. It's nice and light and just smooth for those longer rides, but just dips on down and is always ready to go. And sport mode is pretty fun on this bike. That was good. Yeah, so quick things that I love about this thing on the interstate is, like I was just saying, you do all that stuff, but also you've got a lot of control over how much air is getting to you, especially with this bike. It's got a taller windshield, but I can adjust, kind of eliminate any buffeting with this vent. And if I still want more air up on me, I can reach down and adjust these willy wings right here, just like that, to get even more wind on me. So that's a really nice little benefit right there. So all kinds of fun stuff on this bike. I can see everything I need to really well, especially, you know, awareness wise, and then also navigation wise, or like bike readout. You know, it looks like a pretty complicated screen right now, but I can simplify that a little bit when I want to. Ooh. So I can change things up a little bit there if I would like, which is a really good benefit. Sport mode's fun. I really like just standard road mode a lot of times on these bikes, because you've got so much torque that even in road mode you can just hustle pretty easily. And as good as these bikes go, they also stop really well, so they have phenomenal braking. Especially, you know, if you're really pushing these bikes, you know, then of course upgrading to something like this Brembos might be worth it, but for just like around the city traffic and then the occasional just pushing the bike a little bit, you know, this bike does pretty good. You know, and previously, before this bike came out, when a lot particularly a lot more older folks that were having issues, they really liked baggers, they had baggers, but they were having issues with how heavy of a bike the Street Glide was. You know, before, I was telling them, like, hey, before, the Street Glides are great, the trikes are great, the Softails are great, but you know, if you still want two wheels, aren't quite ready for a trike, I was telling a lot of folks, you know, hey, check out the Heritage, go ride a Heritage. But then when this bike came out and how manageable it is and easy to ride, that kind of changed a lot of how I was thinking. And I was like, you know, hey, like, this bike is a whole lot easier to handle and navigate. So I mean, go give that bike a chance. Man, this bike is fun though. Very cozy too. This backrest is nice. I can go ahead and stretch out on these foot pegs too if I want. And just because you have a Street Glide doesn't mean you have to be this, you know, cross-country touring rider. It can be just as good at, you know, those week-long rides as it can be, you know, for riding to work or going on a little grocery run, things like that. It's a beautiful day to ride in Raleigh, North Carolina. And you can see we're starting to get to some spring. This is what it's about, you know, nice easy cruising, seeing some beautiful scenery, taking a stroll. Like I said, to be stock, these bikes sound pretty good still. They've got really good range for each gear too. There we go. Yeah, this newer gen of the Milwaukee 8. I have yet to ride one of the new Softails, but I am itching to, because everything just feels different on those bikes. The suspension, the power, they feel like they're supposed to rip even harder than they did before. So I'm very excited to see what's in store for those bikes. Now for 2025, as many folks know, not a whole lot changed on these bikes compared to last year. So we have a very similar bike to last year, and that's why I'm on a 24 to talk about the 25. I think even this color and trim package right here that I'm riding on right now is available because it's a really good combo. This white onyx pearl, especially with the black, just looks so good. It's a really, really good combo. So I like it. I really like, and some of the smaller things I really like about this bike too, like the gas cap. Nothing, not anything crazy, but it's just a fuel door. So now there's no longer any physical cap you have to keep up with when you're getting gas. So it's not like, oh, let me put this somewhere here. It's just flip it up and go. And you can get a locking door too, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just it's a really good direction of the Street Glide. I'm excited to see it. Seeing these bikes parked with some of the sport bikes and seeing the sharper lines these bikes have started to adopt and a little more aggressive style, I think it's a beautiful direction, because it's not, the bike, of course, isn't just, aggressive looking and all that. I mean, it still has the right amount where it's not trying to be like too hard, but it still looks great. It's still a bike that looks phenomenal. So it might even appeal to a little bit wider range of riders too. So and a lot of folks talk bad about Harleys, but then they ride them, or they ride one of these, they ride a bagger, and they're like, wow, this is not nearly as heavy as I thought it would be, or as everyone kind of talked about. And a lot of your sport bike riders that get to ride one of these bikes too, they're like, I didn't know they could hustle like that. And it's like, yeah, they can do all right. Obviously, if you're trying to do more serious riding and that sort of thing, then there's definitely faster bikes than this. But are they more comfortable? It's tough. It is tough, especially. Probably one of the hardest debates, though, is between the Street Glide and the Road Glide, because of how phenomenal both of those bikes are. Look, oh, man's partying with the van. I mean, this feels great. It keeps the wind off you really, really well. You get just enough that you can kind of cool down on these summer days if you want, but enough to really keep you comfortable back here. Make you want to do some long rides. Another thing I love about these bikes is now you don't have to be moving with the clutch fully disengaged, or with the clutch fully engaged, I guess. You don't have to be moving with the clutch all the way out to see what gear you're in. Now, as soon as you click it up into that gear, it's going to show you right there. So that's a really nice little bonus feature. And now, here's another beautiful part. So I can see that it is currently 72 degrees out here right now. Beautiful day to ride. And I can hear the fan kicking in, because these motorcycles are actually utilizing liquid-cooled heads. So they don't only just have oil coolers, they actually have a full radiator on them with a fan, so they can really regulate their temperature at these stopped traffic conditions a whole lot better. So I'd be very excited to see what a lot of your folks from, that ride these bikes out in California in that stopped traffic have to say about these bikes. I guess in California they don't really have to, they can lane filter, so they don't really have to be stopped in traffic that much. But places that are even hotter than this, I'd really be interested to see what people's thoughts are on just how much better these bikes are at keeping cool during the summertime. So that's another really big advantage to having these bikes. And it's still a Milwaukee 8 platform, so you can build these things out to be pretty nasty. And you can do a pretty big displacement motor, and with bigger displacement, you've got more heat and energy going into that system. But with the radiator, it's even better at regulating that temperature now. So it really lays the groundwork to have some even more impressive builds on these things. If I can make it to another Harley-Davidson demo day, then I really want to go ride one of the 135. Ride one of these bikes with a 135 dropped in it, because those things are nasty. Just all the torque you could ever want. Well, not ever, but just an insane amount of torque, just right at your wrist right there, just ready to go. And let's kind of come up on the inside a little bit. Oh, man, these bikes just handle so good. The old ones handled surprisingly well too, but these are just a little bit better all the way around. There's just better tech, and on some brakes, off some brakes. Bring it up on the end. Handle this bump. Oh yeah, see how good this bike just stands right back up? So you can just, oh yeah, do whatever you want to with these bikes. Yeah, there's a lot of really exciting things going on with these bikes for this year, and we're excited to see what's all is in store for these bikes coming up here soon. So I appreciate you riding on this beautiful day around Raleigh, North Carolina with us, and I hope that you will come and see us here and come find the bike of your dreams here sometime soon. So in the meantime, we hope you ride safe, and we hope you come to see us soon.